I'm Joshua Crepeau, and I run the Z Garage YouTube page. The Z Garage started as a simple YouTube channel full of DIY videos of things I was doing to my project car, a Nissan 300ZX. It's commonly known as its chassis code, the Z31. It really wasn't meant for more other than just being a guide for people with an old car learning how to fix it up like me. About a year after I got my car and started my YouTube page, I founded zgarage.net. It was full of resources and links for other Z31 enthusiasts, since the Z31 seems to be the forgotten stepkid of the Nissan Z-Car line. The more I became immersed in the Z31 community, the more I saw how little aftermarket support there really was for the Z31, despite being the highest production Z-Car ever made. Engine components were fairly available, since the VG30 engine actually came in a lot of Nissans, but interior bits like trim pieces and plastics were very hard to come by, and no one was making reproduction parts. When I started the zgarage.net, I just started my second year of college at New Mexico Tech, studying mechanical engineering, and I thought that I could do something to help reproduce these parts that were no longer available. I did a lot of research and determined that 3D printing would be the most viable option for reproducing parts for my car, so I went ahead and ordered a 3D printer and began reproducing parts on my own. Running my store on the zgarage.net certainly wasn't a lucrative business, but I was excited to be able to reproduce parts for the Z community that I'd become so immersed in. In 2020, when the COVID pandemic hit, I saw a large change in the car community as a whole, not just the Z31 groups I was a part of. People were pretty uncertain about what was going to happen. A lot of people were being laid off work and weren't certain when they were going to be able to find new jobs or go back to their last ones. And I saw a lot of project cars being sold because people no longer had the money for them. But then the world started to adapt to the COVID restrictions, and businesses found a way to keep their employees busy while at home. And that led to another change in the car community. Before the pandemic, people really didn't have time to work on project cars for multiple days at a time. They needed them to drive to work and go other places. But now that people are home all the time, project cars actually became a very attainable goal for a lot of people. This was reflected in online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, where project cars that were once sold for $500 were now in high demand and began to be priced at $1,500 or even $2,000 for the same car. I also noticed a large jump in the number of Z31 enthusiasts on the Facebook groups. People now had more time to watch videos, and I was also receiving more orders than I had before the pandemic started. Before the pandemic, I had one 3D printer, and that was enough to keep up with the orders that I was getting. But now I have 3 3D printers that are running a good portion of the time in order to keep up with all the new Z31 enthusiasts. The increase in orders and Z31 enthusiasts has given me the time and motivation to actually begin producing original parts for the Z31 to fix all the little oddball characteristics of the chassis. Things like cup holders which never came in the car, or even more recently, a security box to keep your car from being able to start really easily with a screwdriver. The pandemic was pretty hard at the beginning, and I know a lot of people were struggling and are still struggling, but in my opinion, the car community has never been better. People now have the time and resources to work on project cars of their own, and it's really transformed the car community. I genuinely believe that project cars, although they can be a real pain in the butt, serve as a great opportunity to help people learn and grow, and I really hope others begin to see that as well.